Good morning, bakers. It's me, Joseph the Sommelier Baker. Today we're going to get started on something that you may have never had before, a white chocolate pistachio cheesecake. It's one of my wife's favorites. I hope y'all enjoy it as much as she does. So let's get started. Alright, we're going to start with 2 blocks of Philly cream cheese, or 16 ounces. Normally this calls for 20 ounces, but I'm going to add this avocado in here to make up for the other 4 ounces. Now that may seem strange, but avocado is perfect for making cream cheese. Just in case you may be low, perfect for making cheesecake, just in case you're low on cream cheese. So this is a perfect substitute. I'm going to get this cut open and I'm going to add it right in. Well, that's how you know when an avocado is perfectly ripe. It gives you almost no fuss, no muss. It just comes right on out of that shell, seed and all. When it's nice and soft and dark green like this, that's when it's about perfectly ripe. And get that seed out of there. Okay, we're just going to blend this together. We're going to let this run on about a medium speed until it's nice and creamy. Okay, normally at this point in making any cheesecake, you would add sugar, but this is such a rich cheesecake, I see no need to add any more sugar than it's already supplied by the ingredients naturally. So now we're going to start adding in our eggs one at a time. Now we're going to give everything a quick scrape down before we add anything else to it. You may have heard my water boiling in the background. That was for my water bath. That keeps your cheesecake, well, it keeps moisture in your cheesecake, which keeps it from cracking. You'll see the end result of that. Alright. So we're going to scrape everything down, and we're going to do the rest of this manually, just to make sure that everything goes, well, exactly how you want it to go. I feel like you can control things more when you mix manually, but sometimes there's a need for the power that you get from a mixer. And sometimes that mixer can provide a shortcut as well. But sometimes things are just up to your personal preference. Alright, now we're going to add in 1 packet of pistachio jello. This is the 3.4 ounce size. This is what you'll need to give your cheesecake a little more body, a little bit of depth. Stop it from being so runny. A runnier cheesecake is harder to bake evenly. The outside will be nice and golden, maybe sometimes even burnt, and then the inside will still be uncooked. So this will stop that from happening, and it's going to give us more pistachio flavor as well. So I'm just going to mix this in by hand. And before I turn this over to be put in a pan, I want to make sure all of those lumps are out of there. It also gives the cheesecake this beautiful green texture. Okay, now it's time to add in our white chocolate chips. I use a whole 12-ounce bag. That is plenty enough, but if you want to use less or more, it's up to your personal taste. Whatever suits you. I probably should have taken that out first, actually. Oh well, we'll make it happen. At this point, once I fold these chocolate chips in, she's ready to go in the oven. We're going to put her in the oven at about 340 degrees for about an hour and 15 minutes. And that should do it. And we'll come back and check on her. But there is one more step before we put it in the oven. Here's that beautiful crust that we made earlier. You get a close up in there, you can see some of those pistachio ground up in there with that graham cracker crust. This is going to be delicious, y'all. I promise you. You'll love it if you try it. I'm going to spread this all the way to the edges. It's not like a cake in where it has baking powder or some kind of leavening agent that would make it rise. So we're going to help it out in that area. Alright, she's nice and smooth and beautiful, but there's one more thing we have to do. I'm going to add some pistachios right on top of there. And that, you can see how beautiful and green these pistachios are. I'll tell you, this is a beautiful, beautiful recipe. It looks just as good as it tastes. And that's what we want. They say you eat with your eyes first. I can believe that. Nobody wants to eat something that looks nasty. There we go. There we go. And we are all set to go into the oven. Voila. Okay, so I've taken her out of the oven, and as you can see, beautiful, no cracks. As you see, I'll make my water bath in a roasting pan, and to avoid having to wrap the bottom in foil to keep the water from seeping in, I simply just keep that tray that's in the roasting pan inside there. So that gives me some separation between the water and the pan itself. But as you can see, no cracks or anything on that. So I'm going to let this sit for an hour, and then I'm going to pop her into the fridge and let her stay there 4 to 6 hours, or probably overnight. Alright, after letting her stay in the fridge for about 6 hours at least, I pulled the collar off. Now, one thing that's important, when you pull your cheesecake out of the oven, you can see how beautiful that crust is. What helps everything stay intact and you not have cracks is keeping that collar on for at least an hour and then put it in the fridge, and then you can take the color off after you take it. So we're going to get a nice slice of it because I want y'all to see the inside of this cake. It's absolutely delicious and beautiful. This is a recipe that people will be asking you to make over and over. And if you're so inclined, you can substitute those graham crackers for Oreo, and that makes it even better. Even more people ask for this more than anything that I've ever baked before. Alright, as you can see, she's coming out. And look at the texture of this thing. It is just a solid piece of beauty. Nice and creamy, nice and rich. It's so full of flavor, and I love that beautiful green hue. If you're so inclined, you wouldn't want to add a little bit of green food coloring to it, you can. It's all about your preference. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and whatever y'all do, keep baking.